Murr here, DD Speed Shop. So, actually, we were just being kind of lazy. I've been doing a little bit of work on this hot rod because Danny went out last night. She had an evening Pilates class, so I was on my own, and the talent doesn't film anymore. So you're just gonna hear what I did. I put on. Yeah, I put on the e-brake e-brake. I got to move some little brackets, but we have that cable on, so that's cool. What else did I do? Might be
when
about
I
it.
came home, you were sitting on the couch with your pants off.
Well, that was a rough night. I pulled the seats out, all the interior out, and I just kind of mounted this bench in.
Ooh.
It's just sitting there. I haven't attached it, so when you're sitting on it, Murr, it's just kind of sitting there. But I had
nice.
all the brackets were bent to shit and everything, so I had to get that all done. So
Maybe run a vacuum through there.
yeah, I'll give it a quick vacuum. But the seat's actually really nice. Fits fantastic. I also played. Oh yeah, so I played with the e-brake. So here you go now, Murr. You can actually understand now what we're trying to do. So I actually called Murr because Danny was out. I was gonna have him help me bleed the brakes. So I clamped the e-brake. So what it was, we were trying to bleed it. We got fluid to the caliper, right, but it wasn't coming out the bleeder. It was just coming out the banjo.
Right.
So I then got in there with a C-clamp, clamped the e-brake, which is like a mechanical version of the thing working. Right. As it clamped all the way in, I had the bleeder loose. It started putting fluid out. So obviously that caliper has to be mechanically moved or something like that originally. Okay. So I did that. I worked it back and forth a few times so we have kind of zero lash on the caliper, so it's kind of centered. And then I had gravity bleed, like just dribbling out fluid. Right. Then I actually used this vacuum deal. And it seemed like, there's kind of whatever, but I needed someone to kind of stab the brake. So it feels real soft, like no back brakes, then it has front brakes. So I thought you could be in there and we can try to pump it up, see if I can bleed out some air or what. But it feels a goofy. That's always something with you. I don't know where it is. Danny was probably using it for...
What was I using it for?
Exactly. What were you using it for? Oh, it's over here, Mer. It's on this side.
Because you were using it.
Well, I was doing brakes. By myself.
You want a light, Mer?
Yeah, I do.
Do you want a magnifying glass, too? Oh, he brought his magnifiers. Are those 2X's yet, or 2.5s? What are they? He has no words.
Mm-hmm. Okay, is your e-brake hooked up?
Yep. Well, kind of. I need to make some new brackets for it.
Yeah.
Because it's just pulling on that one tab. I got to move the factory one back so it can pull properly. But, I mean, we have fluid to it now, I believe.
This should be the thumbnail.
It's a lot of butt fur. That's where I get it from. But, oh, here's my wrench. Okay, just want to try to know where everything is. What are we doing?
You just want to make sure you know where your wrench is?
Well, we're going to need it. Like,
Okay,
there's currently no back brakes when you step on it. Well, actually, step on it, we'll see if it moves or does anything. Oh yeah, let it go. I hit it.
I'm just pushing to the end of the first circuit.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I would say it does something, but it. Yeah, it's moving, but it's not pumping up.
No. Okay, so you've got air in there somehow, some way.
Well, how about you want to... So I got to the point yesterday where I was just trying to gravity bleed. You want to just pump it and I'll bleed it?
Yeah. Let's start now.
That's kind of the reason I called you over for it. That and your good looks. What was that?
I was not napping!
She was out. Oh, this one has nothing. Hit the brakes again? Yeah, see, this side does nothing. Okay, so this is our problem over here, I guess. You know what, Murray? You can...
Where's my light? Man, it's haunted.
See, like, I have fluid. Can you just step on it and hold it down? No, like, it shoots fluid out.
Yeah, but let's see if it pumps out. It just feels like it's full of air.
Well, but this one... Can I have that light? This one here, I can see there's well, maybe it's not bad. Okay, I'll pump it a few times and then okay, go again.
You sure you're not out of fluid underneath there? Because it feels like there's even less than there was before. So
Well, that is a possibility. The hood is down. Okay.
the hood is down and full of shit. So
Mer, it's a family channel. Yeah, let's pull the shit off the hood.
let's do that.
I'm pretty sure it has fluid in it. I mean, like 7 out of 10.
Well, those like the weird disagreements depending on what things have. Sometimes you have to like turn the piston in, but being brand new, I think that
No,
would
the
be
piston
case.
was definitely. Man, I really just want it. The piston was all the way in, and no matter what I did, I couldn't get fluid out of it. And then I cranked it in, or like cranked the lever. Well, I guess we'll use the gear bender as a little sling. Yeah, look at that. And once I did that, then it started pushing fluid through.
You
we're-
use
we're
the gear
bougie.
bender as well.
Oh, just as a little support there, a little sling. So we have to, it jams into the garage door, so just go until it hits. There you go.
Take a picture of this thing, y'all. Take a picture.
We may have found the problem.
Lift the lid. Take a picture.
You know, sometimes, sometimes I do this just for cake. Fuck off. You know what, Murray? You're welcome. There you go. There's your high school teacher aha moment you get back.
Is that the problem the whole time? Is it was just empty?
No.
Well, there are such a thing as air brakes. That's not it.
Was it really just empty this whole time?
No, it wasn't empty the whole time, but it's empty right now.
The initial problem.
I fixed one problem, which caused the second
You
problem.
really Danielled it.
You know what, you guys? Okay, well, Merc, let's bleed the brakes here.
Shall we bleed the brakes?
In my defense, the instructions didn't say this.
To check to make sure there was brake fluid?
Yeah.
Well, why would they?
Why would
If only common sense was common.
Frig off, guys.
Can I pump it up? Or
Yeah, oh yeah, you can do whatever you want. See, it comes out very, like, not very forceful. Okay, go again. Like, this one's definitely, oh, just start. Oh yeah, there we go. It's starting to move a little. All right, go again.
I've never seen the brake bleeding process from this end.
The frustrating end.
Yeah.
It's moving, but it's kind of pulling itself back.
Yeah, well, it's still full of air.
No, Murder, come on. Okay, go again. Do you want me to take the bleeder right out? We can kind of play with my finger.
It's starting to get some.
Oh yeah, you know what? It's starting to get a little bit more forceful out here. Okay, go again. Go again, Mert. Oh, look at that move, yeah. You know what? I don't need this from anybody here. I'm the talent. Okay, go again. Still. It's moving, but it's not clamping on the deal. Should we check for more brake fluid or what?
Yeah. Close and take my foot off.
Yeah. I think I still got to do something with the e-brake on that one because it feels like Like I can see the pad is moving, but it's coming back, and it's still not touching.
It's still reasonably full. We can top it up like
We
this.
are limited in brake fluid here, so. Okay, we don't have to show every little ounce of brake fluid and mess it up I'm doing here.
It's in there.
Where's this C-clamp? We'll try that maybe and see if it'll, that's right here.
The cleaner's facing up. They didn't send you two.
Yes, it's all correct. It's just it's still got play in it. But if I do this, I put a little clamping force on it, it can get some fluid behind it because it's pulling itself back. You want to try stepping on them again? We'll see what this. Does the panel feel any different or not really? No, eh?
Did you get some spurts of air out of that one?
No, it's still just fluid coming out. Is it down?
Yeah.
Like it's coming out good fluid. Yeah, go again.
The master is not, like the push rod's not touching the master cylinder, eh?
I mean, anything's possible.
I'm starting to get a little.
Yeah, no, it's moving more now.
Maybe switch to the other side.
Do this. Let that side up or let it up. Actually, that looks a lot better. Do it again. Step on it.
What, just pump it or just?
You like pump it up. See, now it's hitting the. Yeah. Now it's holding it. It's getting there. I think I got to maybe play with this e-brake again. Let me just tighten this up. 10 millimeter. Like, who does that? Okay. Well, I'm gonna try this. You can let it up. Oh. I think this e-brake almost works like maybe like a ratcheting thing or something. Cause now it looks way better than it did. And it did say something in the instructions about doing this.
Well, some of the old systems, like there's a screw thread on it for the e-brake adjustment.
Yeah, no, this one, it's like, you're supposed to, like, it said something about, like, you clamp it, or you pull it, then it goes back, and not quite the same distance, or I forget what. Okay, you want to step on it? I don't know if that does anything. You're holding it? Everything's in my way now.
Are you just getting fluid or are you getting air bubbles?
Just fluid.
Okay, let's try the other side, and when you get only fluid off both sides, then we'll take one caliper off and just check that piston.
Let's do that, Mert.
So it's 2 hours later,
Oh yeah, for sure.
and it's vindication time for Dan here a little. So yes, the master was out of brake fluid, and I can admit to that. But as you'll see, the master cylinder is now off, and the cylinder that was on it is back on. So this is when I had rear drum. So it obviously got a big front reservoir and a small back. I think that's gonna be fine to run disc. It's tall. We went through everything. Murr got his special brake adjusting tool. I will say the calipers, so what they are is they're off of like 80s
Cadillac. Seville, Buick Riviera, something like that.
Which is like all these kits are something that they've been modified. That's just how it is through the application. So
Unfortunately, it was a design that they tried for a few years and said, this is the shits. And there's an awful lot of people that have gone through hell bleeding rear brakes on Cadillacs.
So the
and
60,
Rivieras.
65-year-old, 70-year-old mechanics who are watching go, oh, I remember those and they were terrible.
Yes, that's
So you guys can let me know that in the comments. So here I am, new to me. And so we had to play with it, and ultimately you have to adjust the emergency brake lever properly as best as you can, which then allows the brakes to basically work properly. So there's lots of videos explaining just that. We actually watched one from CPP, Jason something or other, and then I watched a Bronco one. So Google it, Seville brakes, and you'll be golden. So anyway, we're going through the thing, and I kept saying, I was like, I think this back master has no pressure. So we played with it, we bled it, we took it all apart, and we can show it on the bench, Trevor. But ultimately, I sat in there, Merc could hold his thumb on the rear port and like hold the brake fluid back.
Yeah.
So it was pushing fluid, but just no pressure. So we switched that after a gallon of brake fluid and all sorts of screwing around. But I think that was probably our issue right from day one. If all the other screwing around we did back there was probably useless. But who would think that the brand new master cylinder? So that I've had 2 bunk ones for the 56 and now this one.
Yeah.
Bunk. Like, and this was, so the whole thing is they all work the same, but this one has an equal reservoir back and front for a rear disc. They just require a little bit more fluid. And I put on the metering block or whatever there too. So there you have it. Vindication, the brakes work after all that screwing around. So here I was cursing the brake kit, but in all reality, it was Dorman got me again.
Yeah.
I feel like I should send them a message and be like, come on, guys.
More like Poorman.
Oh, that's a t-shirt. We'll do it. We'll sell a bunch, wait till they sue us, and lose it all. But what an absolute pain in the butt. Like, everything was brand new. Everything was properly matched and stuff. So I took it all apart. I cut that rod off that we did in the last video, so it was short again, and now the brakes work fine.
Diagnosis, like when you've gone through everything, start at square one. And that's what we did. But just when he took it off, he put the other one on, and I said, let me try it with my fingers. And that was it. A bit of miscommunication. When he said it was coming out, like, I didn't see it. I was pumping the brakes, and if the roles were reversed, I might have decided to do it a little differently. But I
said there's not much pressure coming out the back, and Murr said, nah, it's fine.
Well, there's not much pressure, but there was not much volume either. And that's the thing, is as we bled it several times, we only went through a little bit of brake fluid, which means the brake fluid's not leaving the vehicle. So if you go through pedal movement and it's not leaving the vehicle, it can only be what's called an internal leak, which is inside the master cylinder.
Are we in grade 12 auto shop
We
all
are.
over again?
And now you learn.
Tell us about thermodynamics.
Give Murray your mic so he can take us through his little toolkit there, because the people are going to want to see it.
Oh. The people. This is a rear caliper kit for putting disc brake pads in. On different vehicles, you have to use this little kit, and not on this one as it turns out, but usually you have to turn the piston of the rear caliper in so you have clearance to put the brake pads in.
So the way these calipers are is they're kind of opposite, but the emergency brake is a mechanical adjustment in. So you actually mechanically set it so there's kind of no lash to the there's a B on it. And then once you have that, you lock that into place, then you bleed it, and then you have it working.
Yeah, it's just that a regular caliper has a single piston, gets pressure. On these ones, it has a regular piston with a threaded adjustment on the inside of it. So every time you hit the e-brakes, it's capable of doing the adjustment.
It's
That's
just a
right.
mechanical caliper.
Right.
It's basically an in-between of a drum brake adjusting the shoes.
Yeah, and
in
in new cars, they've moved towards an electronic division of that just to prevent all this from happening. But I think this system, when they had it, was sponsored by the Brake Fluid Manufacturers Association of North America, because I bet you people go through gallons of brake fluid.
Big brake fluid. They're trying to get you. Well, we were bleeding and just nothing happened. So anyway, that's where we're going to leave it. Now I'm going to hose down the entire garage because there's brake fluid everywhere. It's in my armpits. And anyways, thanks for coming over, Murr. But we can put the wheels back on, and now Well, at the end of this video, I'll be bolting the seat in, or welding the seat in. I'm done with bolts. It's getting welded in to fit me, and that's the end of it. No one else is driving this thing unless you have a zip disc. But then we should drive it tomorrow. See if we'll make it to your house.
That's a long distance.
We do have a tow truck.
Well, true enough.
All right, thanks for the help, Mer.
All right.
Okay, so what have I done? We ate dinner. So I had to take the brake rod apart and I had to weld it and then reshape it just because I had cut it too short, so it'd be a little longer and all that. So anyways, the brakes are good now. We might as well show them the seats, just what we're doing here. There's like 3 lights under the dash on this thing. That's where all the lights are. 1, 2, 3. So I had to do some modifications to the seat track. So the factory track, you can see there, it was all junk and bent. So I just bolted that back on. Then I welded this track to that track. Okay, custom. Then I put on some angle iron.
Should I zoom in on your welds?
They're actually not that bad. I don't think. I trust them.
Oh, they actually look pretty good.
I'd rock those. So that's that. The only thing I might have to do is move the seat belt over, but we'll struggle with that later. So then I put my little angles on. I put the seat where I wanted it. I cut carpet out, and I'm just going to put it where I want it. I'm going to weld everything in, and then obviously it could be unbolted and stuff like that, but at least we know where we want it. It's got the right pitch back. It's actually going to fit like really. This seat is super comfortable. And once we get all together, I have the side pieces that were all recovered in there, so TCS did a fantastic job. I mean, it's just, I want just a very plain Jane, nothing too fancy, but just kind of a classic seat. And I give it a quick vacuum underneath there. And actually, I think the shifter should be able to basically go right where it was, which is fantastic. And it might be a little close to the seat. Well, I guess, yeah, the problem's going to be, the shifter's going to be in a good location, but this is a bench seat problem. Obviously, as the seat comes forward, it gets in the way of the shifter. So
But it doesn't have to come forward. You're the only one driving.
Only tall guys can drive this, yeah. So, you can't ever really drive it, or if you do, you'll be phone books and stuff behind you. So it should be good.
I'm a passenger princess.
Yeah. In this car, you may end up being a pushing princess and a holding tool princess and a talking me off the ledge princess. So we should be able to just kind of push this forward-ish and kind of align it. There you have it. I mean, everything all kind of lines up with the metal, so it's crooked. We'll have to straighten it out, but I will blaze this thing in, and then we can kind of clean up all the inside junk. And what else we gotta do? Maybe while the welder's out, we'll adjust the e-brake. I have to make a new standoff for the e-brake, so we'll do that. Put the wheels and tires back on, and then all that's left is wiring the gear vendors and kind of cleaning up under the hood and stuff like that for its like drive time. We gotta go rob some parts off the other car, but it'll look
It's not
cool.
robbing, it's returning.
Returning, right. We're Robin Hooding the parts back. So we got the seat lined up and we'll weld her up. Okay, so hopefully put a couple of tack welds on it. Can you kind of put your weight right in the, actually it wasn't, maybe right in the center a little, just kind of, yeah. Let's see how this goes. Oh yeah. Ooh, she's hot. It's a little China welder, that's pretty good. So you probably would want to, I need this have battery. Yeah, maybe take the interior out before you weld your seats in, but here at Dee Dee's Beach Shop, we believe in, you bring them, we weld them. Oh yeah. Oh, I trust this. Looks like some junk there. Oh, there we go. You gotta just gotta keep welding. burn through all that garbage. Go back right quick, give it a quick tackaroony. Oh yeah. Now factory Tri-5 seats, they were hilarious. They were bolted at the back, and the fronts were just in like little saddles. So this is safer than any factory Tri-5, even though it has a DD Speed Shop weld on it. So I'll have to let this cool for a little bit. Oh, people are here. The neighbors. Well, we're in here. So I set the seat back, I mean, a fair bit. I will say Tri-5s, I like it back, but I mean, this is like super comfy now. For me, yeah. But this will be nice, easy to drive. I mean, the shifter, they're limited. We only go about maybe a couple inches, so not very many short people can drive, but that keeps the shifter here, because I know when we did Danny's car, it had a bench in it originally, and the shifter was like it was touching the glove box, because when you had the seat all the way up for you to drive, it was so close, it was terrible. So luckily this is my car. So we got that under control, everything fits pretty decent. Not really a fan of the T. I might just get a round knob. Well, I have that gear bender switch, actually. I'll put that on there so I'm not rubbing my knee on it. We have to get the cluster. So we're going to steal some stuff out of that Nomad. So the cluster...
Return it to its
No,
original
I'm going to steal
owner.
something else, though. Oh, the wipers. I was going to steal the electric wipers out of it. I think this thing has all the stuff I need in it. Oh, yeah, it's got wipers on it. So we're cool on that. So we have wipers on it. This thing has a heater. What else am I going to take? Oh, these are my little brackets I made out of a street sign to hold the turn signals on. We could just get something from Princess Auto to hang in there, I guess, really. See what they got tomorrow. And then the cluster has fallen out. I guess I Velcroed that up. I'll self-tapper that up. That's kind of some ugliness there. We'll go through it and clean it all up. There's a bunch of old hose and stuff, which is just useless. So we got that taken care of. And then down here, we have the gear vendor to wire up. And then this is the mufflers. So we gotta get that all taken care of. And then I pulled down the fuse block. So we'll get that tucked back up. Actually, this thing's pretty nice inside. It needs a headliner. It's kind of a little junk. And then I pulled the back seat out, so we'll clean up back there. But might put some sort of fire guard in there. But really, not bad. I mean, I built this thing obviously kind of ratty, but it does have... I bought door cards for it, but never wrapped them because I couldn't afford it. I'll get to it later, I thought to myself. But there we have it. So now, and these doors open and close nice on this thing. We got... Are you getting out? You gonna climb down? I've got to do... Oh, look at the seat, actually. We're not in it, eh? That is a honky-tonk and interior. I got to change where the seatbelt location is. They're not big enough. Or get some longer ones, I guess, really. I should probably put a center one in just to be on the safe side in case we take it out for a ride. So that's where we're going to leave that tomorrow. I'm going to finish off a few things underneath. So I have to finish wiring the gear bender, I think. I got a couple things there. I have to do the emergency brake cable, the standoffs. I got to move those back, cut them off and weld them on. So we'll do that. I don't want to do it tonight because we're kind of shutting it down. I hate welding right before going in. We'll do that. Then the wheels can go back on. That muffler has to be held up and wired. There's a few things underneath. I'll do that first thing in the morning. And then really we're kind of there. So honestly, not a bad little day. It started off terrible. I mean, I really thought we'd get a lot more done. I thought Mer would come over, we just bleed the brakes and be taken care of. So that little, my master cylinder luck is not going very well. Like, I do not understand what the problem is there. And I mean, I know when I had that one for the 56, people are like, oh, you did this wrong, you did that wrong. You know what, and that's fine. But vindication, Mer was here. Obviously, it didn't work. We spent all day on it. Changed the master, and it does work. So now we got this old crappy one, which I really hate. I hate when you spend the money. Like this is right here an example of spending the money, and I mean buying a motor from John. I know he went through. You have that confidence. Okay, you spend the money, but you get something good out of it. You buy a master off Rock Auto, Amazon, wherever the heck I got it from, but it was dormant. I mean, name brand, and it was junk, like right out of the box. That is very frustrating. Oh well, everything else seemed to be okay. And you know what I hate? more and more is going on, and I've seen it so many times where people, there's a problem. The brakes don't work. The the carburetor won't be set. The timing's out, and it's popping and banging, and people want to blame the part. And I mean, up until just the last couple of years, I was always like, if there's a problem, 99% chance it's operator error. And I can admit that I make lots of mistakes. I'm not, obviously, I put them on the internet for everybody to see. And hopefully, I guess people understanding that you can make mistakes and learn from them. It's not the end of the world. But now, I feel like I'm starting to jump to the conclusion of, that I get junk parts. And that is very frustrating. Like when you do a whole brake system, I'm like, oh, it's got to be these brakes. I didn't understand them. They're new. All this and that. We spent all that time on them. And they were fine. Like the brakes would have been fine when you were bleeding them, whatever it was, 5 days ago.
Yesterday.
Wasn't it yesterday?
Yes, it was.
Oh, feels like 5 days ago.
It was literally yesterday. It was last
Well,
night.
whenever we were putting them all together. But there you go. You're like, okay, they should just bleed. And honestly, they should have. All we had to do was just slightly advance the emergency brake, but like no big deal whatsoever, and they would just work. And here we are. I was hating those things, thinking they were junk, but nope, they were fine. Everything, they worked exactly as they should. This was the problem. So there you have it. You kind of get used to it. I was telling Murr or whatever. It's like the first disc brake kit I did on the Tri-5. I'm like, oh, I didn't like this, I didn't like that, and like they didn't really work out. And then you're just like, oh, that's just how it is. And now everyone since, I've bought the same kit 5 times now, and it all makes sense. And now that I've done the rear brakes, I would buy those tomorrow again, because you just can't try and find stuff or rebuild existing old junk for the cost of it. But you buy something brand new and it's garbage. So I don't know. I don't quite know how to handle that. Ultimately, I'm at the point now where I would sooner take an old master cylinder out of a car in the junkyard and put it on with something than go in and buy something brand new. So there you have it. I got to try and find something. Or, I guess I was telling Murr, the other option is spending like real money on a master, like a Willwood or a Bear or something like that. I assume they're better quality. Maybe they're not. Never had anything that fancy before. But you don't need it. I mean, this works fine. Should work fine. Anyway, rant over. Time to go inside, have a drink, relax, and come back out tomorrow with a fresh attitude and a bunch of welding wire.
And a new video.
New video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting below. Thanks for, well, whatever. It is what it is. We'll see. I'm tired. The brakes kicked my ass today. Like, I got, like, you spend the money, you buy the thing, you buy all the parts you need, and it doesn't work. There's not much more frustrating than that. Like, that's just...
Especially when you guys were both, your heads on each side of the car, taking everything apart, like...
Luckily, we radiused the wheel wells, otherwise it would have been a real hassle. On a factory 55 Chevrolet, you'd have been hating your life.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's been a lot of money, a lot of time spent on this thing, and honestly, knock on wood, of all the... That's the only thing that's really held us up. At this point, a couple of videos from now, I'm driving this thing tomorrow, but there's a lot of little things to go over, so it'll probably be a video or 2 down the road, but we're going for right around the block. I am anyways. That nice seat. See you tomorrow.